Miranda Corsett, 16 years of age, from Florida, has been killed and dismembered after being lured through a social media app to meet scumbag Stephen Gress, 35 years of age. This happened at Valentine's Day. The victim, Miranda, stayed at the scumbag's home with him and his girlfriend, her name Michelle Brandes, 37 years of age. A dispute occurred, leading to Miranda being beaten and killed. We don't know the exact day, but it's believed to have been sometime between the 20th and the 24th of February, 2025. It's alleged that Stephen Gress dismembered Miranda's body, transported the remains to another county, and disposed of them in a dumpster. Detectives are still searching for the remains. Stephen Gress is already in jail on unrelated charges. The article that I've gone through tells us that Stephen Gress faces kidnapping charges. Surprisingly, it makes no mention of murder charges, but we are told that his girlfriend Michelle Brandes is still at large. She's done a runner and has not been caught. Let's hope that that changes. Of course, full condolences to all those touched by the absolutely horrific murder of Miranda Corsett, 16 years of age, from Florida. Beaten, killed, dismembered, her remains yet to be found. Absolutely awful. One suspect in custody, another at large. Let's hope, for the sake of family and friends, to help them get a little bit of closure. Let's hope that justice does prevail and that those involved, Stephen Gress, his girlfriend Michelle Brandes, let's hope that once they face trial, that they're sentenced for life. Nakia Nash Nicole Martin, 39 years of age, faces capital murder charges for allegedly drowning her cousin's 4-year-old daughter, her name Clover Miani Symphony Hawkins. This tragedy, this murder, happened during a botched baptism in Houston, 8th of September 2023. The accused, Nakia Martin, was babysitting Clover along with her siblings, and allegedly Nakia Martin held Clover underwater in a bathtub whilst threatening Clover's siblings if they told anybody. Clover's mother was away in Indiana at the time. Tragically, Clover was found dead the next day. She had foam around her mouth, bruises on her body. An autopsy confirmed that she had indeed drowned. The babysitter, Nakia Martin, claimed that she didn't mean to kill Clover, but it is noted that after the babysitter removed Clover from the bathtub, she went on to dress Clover, perhaps as if nothing was wrong. The babysitter is now in custody. She was extradited to Texas. Again, we're told that she faces capital murder charges in relation to the death of her cousin's 4-year-old daughter, Clover Miani Symphony Hawkins. Of course, full condolences to the family and friends of Clover, notably her mother, her father, her siblings. This situation would have absolutely rocked the local community, and with that, justice is absolutely required for everyone's benefit. Number one, you can't have a lunatic child murderer walking the streets. I know in the United Kingdom, arguably elsewhere, the authorities deem it appropriate to give female child murderers passes. They get very, very light sentences. That doesn't seem to be the case in America, thankfully, and I hope it's not the case here. I hope that Nakia Nash Nicole Martin, once she faces trial, and we don't know when that might be, but if and when she is found guilty, and of course there is a wealth of evidence against her, including the autopsy, which confirms that Clover drowned. There's the witness statements from Clover's siblings. They say that the lunatic babysitter threatened them if they were to tell anybody that she had indeed held Clover underneath the water in the bathtub. Seems to me like there's going to be plenty of evidence to convict the babysitter. Of course, that's speculation on my part. I'll wrap things up. Again, full condolences. Alabama prosecutors have requested more time to investigate the disappearance of 2-year-old Caleb Collins, who was last seen September 2023. Caleb's mother, Wendy Bailey, 22 years of age, and grandfather, John Bailey, 50 years of age, both face charges including aggravated child abuse, domestic violence, and failing to report Caleb's disappearance. Wendy, the mother, is also charged with abusing a corpse. Investigators believe that Caleb's body was placed in a bag and discarded at an unknown location. Further to that, authorities allege that Wendy witnessed her son being bound with a rope, physically assaulted, and left bloodied. Caleb's father died in a December car crash, allegedly sent Wendy photos of the abuse. So there is a severe lack of information here, and with that I would say that it makes absolute sense that Alabama prosecutors are requesting for more time to investigate what happened to Caleb Collins. But from what we're reading here, Caleb's father, who is deceased at this point had photos of Caleb being abused. Is that to suggest that Caleb's father was the abuser or complicit with the abusers? We don't quite know, but certainly the suggestion is that Caleb was severely abused, believed to have been murdered, and that his mother and his father, now deceased, and indeed grandfather, were all aware of the abuse that Caleb suffered. So an absolutely horrendous situation. The mother has a bond set at $1.9 million, which is extremely high. I applaud that. Alabama prosecutors seem very, very confident that she is guilty, that she did severely let Caleb down, that if she wasn't directly responsible for the abuse that Caleb faced, that certainly she was aware of it and failed to act. The grandfather is being held on a $100,000 bond. Of course, full condolences to the extended family of Caleb Collins, outside of those involved with his abuse, his potential murder. Let's hope that Alabama prosecutors do have the adequate time and resources to fully investigate, to continue the investigation. As much as I hate to say this, to discover the remains of Caleb, and beyond that, to ensure that justice is served. If that means that Wendy Bailey, the mother, is found guilty, let her hang. Unfortunately, not literally, but lock her up in jail for the rest of her life. The same with the grandfather. Anybody that was complicit with Caleb's abuse and potential murder, let's hope that they see justice. Daniel Schwartz, 49 years of age, from Odessa, Texas, has pleaded guilty to manslaughter in regards to the death of his 8-year-old daughter, Jalen Schwartz. Jalen died August 2020 after being forced to jump on a trampoline in 110-degree heat without any water or any food. The trampoline surface reached 150 degrees. The father, Daniel Schwartz, is an absolute scumbag. His wife, Ashley Schwartz, was sentenced to 3 life sentences for capital murder. Between them, they punished Jalen by denying her breakfast, forcing her to jump continuously, and she died due to dehydration. That was determined by an autopsy, which ruled her death a homicide. Scumbag Daniel Schwartz, the father, will serve 18 years in prison as part of a plea deal. I don't know if he's in any way less guilty, less egregious than his wife. It could be that he got a lesser sentence simply because he confessed and perhaps provided evidence against his wife. I don't know. Either way, I hope the pair of them burn in hell for the rest of eternity. Ophelia Lawery-Daniels, 9 months of age, was tragically killed in a murder-suicide by her own father, Zacchaeus Daniels, 21 years of age. This happened in their apartment in North St. Louis, February the 28th. We're told that the father, Zacchaeus Daniels, did struggle with mental health issues, but he had no history of violence towards his family. There is no known motive. I think it's fair to presume that the father suffered some psychotic episode, mental episode. Should we feel empathy for him? Perhaps, but I can't say that I do. I feel empathy for the loss of the life of 9-month-old Ophelia Lawery-Daniels and the shock for her mother, Micah Lawery, who returned home after being at the beauty store to find Ophelia and her father both deceased. There is a GoFundMe set up to support the family, and it should be noted that Ophelia has been described as a happy, vibrant child who stole the hearts of everyone she met, and I can well believe that. Of course, full condolences particularly to Ophelia's mother and extended family, all those touched, shocked, emotionally wrecked by this absolute tragedy. I'm gonna say condolences to the family and friends of the father, Zacchaeus Daniels. I don't wish to bestow upon him too much concern because he did take the life of Ophelia. That's an evil, awful thing to have done, but at the same time, I guess if we are reasonable, if we can put our emotions to the side for a moment, then we have to acknowledge that no doubt he was suffering from a mental episode of one type or another, one that we would hope that we never face, and so certainly we can say condolences to his family and friends. Pamela Alcantara, 26 years of age, was found dead in Tibbetts Brook Park in Yonkers, New York, on Thursday after being reported missing from her Bronx apartment. Her body was tragically discovered in a bag roughly 100 feet from the Sawmill River Parkway. We're told that she was last seen on Sunday morning carrying takeout to her apartment, which she shared with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend hasn't been named, but he is a person of interest on the basis that his license plate was detected near the park. He is in custody but hasn't yet been charged. Pamela's family said her relationship with her boyfriend was rocky. Apparently, Pamela had expressed a desire to move out, and following that, she has tragically been found deceased. So let's hope that an investigation is able to get to a clear timeline of events. Let's hope that justice is served. Of course, full condolences to the family and friends of Pamela, and let's hope that whomever is responsible for her death, be that the boyfriend or whomever else, let's hope that they face absolute justice. A 68-year-old man was found dismembered in the basement of a burning home in Chicago's North Lawndale neighborhood on Friday night. Firefighters extinguished the blaze at the residence on the 2300 block of South Kirkland Avenue, and tragically they discovered the victim whose arms and right leg had been severed. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office ruled his death a homicide, no surprise there, citing gunshot wounds to the neck and chest as the cause, so shot and killed. And then both arms and his right leg removed, severed. Disgusting. Investigators found a reciprocating saw, shrink wrap, and a cell phone at the scene. The fire was deliberately set, again, no surprise there given the deceased within the home. Other than being told that the man was 68 years of age, were not given his details, presumably so that family can be contacted, but neighbors have described the victim as being friendly, and naturally the neighbors are extremely shocked by this horrific murder. At this point in time, no arrests have been made, and let's hope that that does change.